Monster Hunter Rise, the most recent entry in the Monster Hunter space. Currently sitting at the 3rd spot on my favourite Monster Hunter list. Last week we covered Monster Hunter World with one thing I love and one I hate. And now we're on to Rise. We'll go over my gripes later on this weekend. But today is glazing time, my boys. So bring out the honey, cause this one needs to be extra juicy. Wait, Oswald, what are you doing? Wait, no! Well, I guess we have to do glazing the old-fashioned way. So, what is it, Nova? What do you love about Rise? This one is probably the most predictable one so far. It's the options. Rise is full of them. From switch skills to silk binds, and a variety of builds available. Rise has got you covered. The ability to switch up your playstyle for your favorite and even least favorite weapon is awesome. It keeps the game fresh, and the hunting journey enjoyable from start to end. Greatsword is a great example of this. There are 4 different ways I like to play the weapon. 5th gen's build up to True Charge Slash, or Rise is Come At Me Bro, Rage Slash. Spin to win Greatsword, and my personal favourite back in base Rise, Aerial Greatsword. Ah yeah, and I forgot about counter Chad play, which on stream I was shown not to be very good at. No, oh I did it, yes! I'm gonna get hit though. Ah, nice. Let's go. Alright, that was actually sick, that was sick, okay. Granted, there's a clear better way to play the weapons, and I do wish the balance was better for other options. But regardless of that, the fun I got from Aerial Greatsword is still unmatched to this day. Now, I mentioned least favourable because there are times where perhaps you don't like a certain way your weapon plays, or maybe it just doesn't appeal to you in a space state. With switch skills, you have the option to switch it up. You can create something that will finally help you enjoy that longsword. Who am I kidding? That's never gonna happen. Although, I did get hyped playing it during my training session with my boy Ships.
Ooh, I heard that counter.
Yeah, you see, I got it. I got the counters. Look, I've been carrying for you. Look at this. What's he gonna do? He got nothing. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There you go. That's me. That is me. Maybe the weapon isn't that bad after all. Another weapon that comes to mind for me is the Charge Blade. Now, I don't normally use the Charge Blade. Rise was the first game I played the weapon in. Seeing some of the switch skills and silk binds made it real hype for me, so I had to give it a go. I can never get enough of throwing an axe hopper and feeling like the most badass of enemy characters. Or more subtle, yet just as important skill, Morphin Advance. Iframing through moves to position yourself correct, right in the fray of battle. I love it. I honestly think switch skills at the very least should be a staple for the series going forward. It doesn't seem like Wilds has them, but I hope for the next game onwards they'll keep different options of playstyles in the game. Options don't always need to be flashy, they can just be important ways to change up your approach to a weapon. A good example of this is the Sword and Shield, and the traditional Shield Bash. If you're looking for more KOs, keep that Shield Bash and show the monsters who's the KO king. Or switch over to the Draw Slash combo for that elemental goodness. It's not a major change to the weapon, but it mixes up how you may go about building your sets and your playstyle. We've brought up 3 different weapons, but we still haven't talked about my lance. Oh yeah! We went from a stationary beast to actually having movement options. It's a beautiful thing to see. I am a strong believer of keeping weapons pure to their core values, but I'm also a big fan in the evolution of gameplay, as long as it doesn't stray too far from what the weapon originally is. You may think I'm contradicting myself, and maybe I am, but let me explain and then you can be the judge for yourselves. So tell me down below in the comments what you think about this, and the rest of the video as well. When it comes to movement for Lance, the options come in the form of Spiral Thrust and the controversial Twin Vine. We'll talk about Spiral Thrust first. Even though this is a fast-paced movement and offensive skill, it still feels Lance-like, to some extent. Firstly, the counter, which Lance is already known for. It's practically an instant counter, with one of the smallest windows any counter in Monster Hunter has. If you don't get it right, you will die. But if you do, you thrust forward, as if your lance was a spear in 2 directions, finishing with a final thrust, and after getting a nice power boost. When you get down, it feels great, it's rewarding, mostly when you get the good timing. Pushing the traditional counter option we have to a more risk and reward setup, and I'm all for it. Perhaps they could have made it that if you don't execute the counter, you can't do the follow-up moves, making it so you only get the rewards when you succeed the risk challenge. But this video isn't focused on balance, and perhaps we'll get into balance another day. You can either take that or the other counter skill you have, and could rage. This is a stationary counter, giving you a power boost depending on the strength of the monster's move, but also hitting back with a strong thrust. One option gives you more mobility, yet requires more timing, while the other gives you a more grounded approach and is more forgiving. This is a peak example of what switch skills do well, giving you a similar result but different ways on how it works. Over the last couple months, I've talked to many Lance mains, some saying they want big changes, more moves, something flashy to throw out every now and then, while others wanted to stay simple or not change too much. With switch skills, both win. You can play whatever style fits your bow and enjoy your time. Yes, once again it's true that there will be and have been balance issues when more options are added, and it's Capcom's job to ideally work on balancing those options across the board. But I wouldn't say that's a reason why they shouldn't add new options. The trade-off of being a bit more unbalanced is worth the extra fun we can all have. Plus, it's not like Monster Hunter's ever really been balanced. I'm looking at you, Bowguns, but that would be strawmanning, and it shouldn't be used as an example to not expect better game balance. The next we'll talk about is Twin Vying. Now, back on Base Rise, people hated this move. They thought it was useless. And why would Lance need something like this? Well, first of all, it allows you to do cool things like this. What other weapon is flying like this? And second, even in Base Rise, the leap was awesome. After the leap, you had two options. Well, three. 1. Going for an attack. 2. Raise your shield while jumping, protecting yourself as you get closer to your prey. And 3. Nothing, which I don't recommend. The attack is lackluster and it should have really been more impactful, but the shield option is very useful. It allows you to get in on the monster with a safe option, fitting over Lance. One of the major issues Lance has in multiplayer, apart from getting hit all the time by your allies, is chasing down the monster. When you're fighting with 2 or 3 people, the monster will be everywhere, and this isn't just a Rise issue. Now with this move, you can jump to wherever the monster is, keeping your DPS up with consistency, just what Lance is known for. We aren't flashy, but when it comes to consistency, we're the kings. I got through these examples to show how switch skills can vastly improve your decision making. They can either change up how a weapon plays or make up for a weapon's weakness. And when they're done well, like in the Lance example, even when weaknesses are covered, many of the core factors of the weapon are still present, which I think should always be the case, and the skills themselves should always have some type of downfall if done properly. But we ain't done yet. Let's talk about the skills. There were so many, and I'm a sucker for variety in this department as well. Skills such as sneak attack give you an offensive boost but in a unique way, turning you from a frontline hunter to an assassin in waiting. One of the issues with Monster Hunter's skill system is how powerful generic skills are, just slapping on attack and crit eye with no thought into how they benefit your build. I'm not saying that's been fully resolved, but in Rise they take great steps into improving that situation. Ways to get attack, crit, or even improvements in stamina, many different and unique ways. One of my favorite combos is Hellfire, Resuscitate, and Coalescence with the short shield, and on top of that I put on some guard for some interesting counters. You probably just spat out your drink after hearing that, thinking guard on a short shield? Nova, you're crazy! Well, yeah, but my hunter friend, let me show you one of my favorite ways to play short shield in Rise. I like how Hellfire activates both Coalescence and Resuscitate, as it counts as a blight, so I get the bonuses of extra damage along with a free knockdown once per hunt. It's pretty awesome. And it doesn't stop right there. There are so many skills, like Ferocious, Wind or Power Mantle, Berserk, and we all know we love Intrepid Heart. So many ways to test out different ways to hunt. And that's why I hope we continue to get interesting skills in Wilds. I've always loved that part of Monster Hunter. I do really love switch skills and Silkbinds. They just give me so many different ways to play. But there is a system from the past which I think does it a bit better, but we're going to get into that in another video. Well, thanks for watching guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Like, subscribe, yeah, just, let me know your info. Let me know how you feel about switch skills, how you feel about anything in Rise. One thing that you love is the Palomik. I love the Palomik as well, that's another thing. I love how they brought back Palicos, with more ways to build them, which is always good. I've always loved to build Palicos, definitely in the past. I love the music. We didn't talk about the music much. Damn. No, I love the music. Music's great. But yeah, no, there's so many things I think is good. Yeah, so, but you know, we're not done. You know, tomorrow is our gripes. Sunday is our gripes. We're going to talk about our gripes, what we hate about Rise. Yeah, so I hope you're there for that. This is the 4th entry into the series. The 5th tomorrow is the hate. And then after that, we're going to do some conclusion episodes to talk about the series in general and just wrap up things to leave 5th gen behind as we go into 6th gen. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you guys next time. See ya.